There are two ways of building the tallest building in the town. You either focus on yourself and make sure you grow the tallest, or you focus on crushing everybody else's so you're the tallest standing. And unfortunately, 99% of people on this planet, that's what they do. And that's why inside there, successful people know how to handle toxic people. Because the reality is the more success you get in your life, the more you'll find people try to tear you down. And so if you don't understand these concepts from an advanced level, you're going to struggle. And that's why I want you to pay close attention, because today I want to share with you the 3 ways that successful people handle toxic people. Without further ado, let's go straight onto the first way, which is to lose the battle. And this requires some form of emotional maturity to really actualize in your life. So maybe you're not on this level yet, but whatever it may be, try to have an open mind. There's a great saying that goes on the lines of lose the battle, but win the war. You've got to ask yourself this, insider. What do you truly value out of life? Is happiness important to you? Is freedom important to you? Is family important to you? Love, maybe. You're probably nodding along, yes. Well, I'm here to say, if you want to experience that in your life, you got to give more of what you want. If you want more happiness, make others more happy. If you want more smiles, smile more. If you want more love, love people more. So you got to ask yourself, next time you're dealing with a toxic person, how are you going to show up? Because people who truly understand how powerful they are, they do not need to prove their strength. People who are insecure, who are caught up in the ego, they will want to try to prove to you that they're good enough. As success insiders, we understand that we're born good enough. We don't need to prove our worth. So you got to ask yourself, whenever you're in a conflict with somebody who's toxic, is it worth you trying to prove yourself and to them that you're good enough by winning the argument, by winning the battle, but losing the war? Because think about it. One person is going to walk away from that conflict unhappy. I'm always asking myself, whenever I come across anybody toxic, anybody who's really peed off or angry, I'm asking myself, do I really want to cost them their happiness today? Is this something I'm going to regret later down the line? Is this thing that we're disputing over, is it even worth it right now? Whatever I'm telling myself, is it actually even worth it? And what you'll find is we tend to, as human beings, we blow things up on a whole different magnitude. And we believe this is so significant, but realize this is so insignificant. Have you ever looked at how big the earth is in comparison to how small you are? We're so insignificant, we're just all trapped in our own stories. And for me, I'd rather die having made more people happy than more people pissed off because of me. So you've got a decision to make. Are you willing to lose the battle? And of course, there might be some battles where you just really don't want to lose. That's fine. But then you want to make sure that you eventually win the war. And that war, by the way, what that stands for is your values, what you truly value out of life. And for me, I want to make other people happy. And this, by the way, this belief I never used to have. This is something it's taken me years to really own. It's one of those information that kind of breezed on by for a long time. Because back in my past, a decade ago, I used to cause so many people harm, physically. I used to get in so many fights because I was hanging around with rough people. I used to just, because of so much pain in the past of going through racism, I used to walk up to people, just hit them. And all of the pain I caused people in the past, I'm now looking back, totally regretting every single one. And this is why I've totally transformed, because I've gone through that pain. But then again, inside, you got to ask yourself, why do you want to go through maybe the same to have the lesson? Here's the lesson for you. Represent that change now. Be that change now. Be positive now. And realize if you are currently at that level of awareness, and if you come from this level of thinking, emotional maturity, what you're essentially doing is you're practicing one of the most important qualities of a successful individual, which is empathy. Realize that everybody's on a different journey. And what gets you from A to B doesn't necessarily get you from B to C. And it's incredible how so many people nowadays, they're caught up in conflicts. They don't really understand the situation. They're always trying to prove to that person that they're good enough in terms of their argument. But it's almost like this. Imagine that there was a newborn baby that was crying. And this guy walks over. Basically, the guy starts shouting at this newborn baby, Hey, stop crying. Why are you crying? Why are you so stupid? Oh my God, I don't cry. I'm so much better than that. Now, in that moment, what would you do? What would you be thinking? You'll probably get up and say, hey, what are you doing? That newborn baby doesn't understand. Why are you trying to force it to stop crying? It doesn't even understand. It's on a different stage of their life. This is exactly the same in terms of your toxic people around you right now. They're on a different stage of life. And maybe they might not even reach the stage you're on in their lifetime. To come from a place of empathy, not sympathy, empathy. Empathy is about understanding. Wow, you've been blessed with this level of awareness. You've been blessed because you can listen to advice like this. You've been blessed with this awakeness because most people are sleeping awake, tiptoeing to an early grave, hoping that it'll be okay. In reality, when it isn't for most of them. And so what you got to come from is that state of awareness. Next time you are dealing with a toxic individual, just wake up in that moment. Don't allow your emotional brain to take charge, and don't allow your ego to try to prove your worth to that individual. That is putting yourself on the same level as them. And people with true power do not need to prove their worth to other people. So ask yourself in that moment, whenever you're in a conflict, how do you want to show up? What would the best version of you do in this situation? How could you most easily make them feel grateful or happy at the end of this conversation or conflict? Set yourself up to win. Win the war. That's what it's all about. And so be grateful. Come from a place of empathy that you've woken up when most people on this planet are sleeping awake. Because for me, nowadays, whenever I come across any form of conflict my way, I just represent my message. Because I believe that's how you are going to lead others, by leading yourself. You got to lead your message. So whatever you stand for in life inside, if happiness is important, if love is important to you, if freedoms is important to you, make sure that's the way you treat others as well. Is that making sense? So that's the second way. The third way is focus on your self-growth, okay? And the reason why it's so important for you to focus on your self-growth is right now, if people around you who are toxic that you simply can't get rid of, maybe this is in the workplace right now, because to be honest, what you should do is try to get rid of them, but I'm assuming you can't. If right now, these people around you on a daily basis are causing some form of pain within you, I want you to realize this. If you want things to change, you got to change. If you want things to get better, you got to get better. Because it's never somebody or an event that causes the pain. It's you that's causing the pain. What that really means, insider, is realize that no words, think about it, what is a word? Word is simply noise that we're making, okay? No words can really cause us harm. So what is it that's causing us harm? It's your psychology. If right now you're currently at the level in terms of your self-growth where bad words or haters or toxic people are causing you emotional harm, you've got to work on your self-growth. You've got to change the rules. Because what's ends up happening is you've got the gatekeeper between the conscious and subconscious. And for some reason, you're accepting everybody's message and you're accepting it as truth. So if right now you're saying, oh my God, Tim, these toxic people are causing me harm and this is why I can't get results, stop being a victim. I'm not here to be your friend here. I'm here to wake you up as your coach. Stop being a victim. Take control. It's your fault. You've accepted it as truth. Remember that. So you got to be able to change yourself because it's never somebody that causes the issue. It's ourselves that causes the issue because we keep on accepting these messages and we keep on allowing it to basically be processed in our brain. Successful individuals have got so much mental strength. They got so much discipline because the more success you get in life, the more people try to drag you down. And that's why you see how celebrities, they're literally blinded to all of the horrible things that media tend to say about them. They don't need, for example, to have a breakdown every single day. Yes, there are some who haven't mastered their mindset, but you see the ones who are the most successful, they got so much mental fortitude and discipline to know exactly what they stand for and they work on themselves every single day. That's what you got to do inside it if this is something you're currently struggling with. I've got a background, by the way, with shyness and anxiety, so this is something I had to work on every single day and I continue to do so every single day. Why? Because the more people I'm reaching right now, the more people tend to be toxic. There's a lot of haters out there. But then I understand it's part of the process. So that's why I lose the battle. I don't engage on that level. In fact, just several weeks ago, I had one of my friends trying to commit fraud under my name, or I should say not trying to, actually committed fraud under my name. And I end up having to settle this large bill for something that happened 5 years ago that I wasn't even aware of, can't go into too much detail. And I didn't even end up calling that friend or messaging that friend saying, oh, what ended up happening? I just settled the bill and left it. Why? Because I'm losing the battle. But I'm winning the war. Why do I want to, after I set the bill, okay, just, a bit of money, which I'll always be able to earn, why do I end up now causing them extra harm after that whole chapter has now been closed? Ask yourself, how are you showing up every single day inside it? Represent your message. When you really begin to own yourself and when you try to be that change that you want to see in other people, that's when everybody else around you will change. We don't force change. We walk the change every single day. Is that making sense? So these are the 3 ways that successful people handle toxic people. If you found today's video helpful, Insider, be sure to click that like button. And let me ask you this, what has been your biggest takeaway? Do let me know in the comments box below. And this week, as you may know, I'm hosting a live training where we're going to be going very deep in terms of your self-growth. It's called the 3 Secrets to Reinvent Yourself, even if you're feeling down and out. I'm going to show you mastery level concepts that I don't normally share in terms of how I reinvented myself a decade ago when I was hanging around with very negative people, working as a toilet cleaner, to be able to get myself to where I am today, having been involved with multiple million-dollar launches and traveling around the world, creating freedom and all of the great things. And that happened from me mastering my psychology. So if you'd like to get yourself registered, be sure to follow the link above or go directly to the link here. It's totally for free. It's a free gift from me as a way of saying thank you for helping us to reach over 30 million people now as you check out our videos. So remember also, Insider, to share this video with a friend or loved one who's got to hear this message, as life is about paying it forwards. And as always, Insider, follow your heart, my friend, and take action and go live the life you're truly born to live. Own yourself today. Represent that message. I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Take care.